Welcome once again to This Week in Shrinkflation. It is December 13th, 2024, and this one's going to hurt a little bit, especially for me personally, a Christmas staple taken down. We're going to start with, unfortunately, Lifesavers. In my mind, and I have horrible memory. I have really terrible memory. Like my childhood is basically, I've got like images. That's my memory of my childhood, is flashes of images, basically. And in my young mind, this Lifesaver book sticks out. I don't know why, but I very much remember loving the Lifesaver books, getting them for Christmas, usually in a stocking or whatever, sharing them with my sisters, exchanging the flavors and stuff like that. And now they've turned it into just a generic red cardboard box with 6 fruit-flavored Lifesaver rolls in it, which is just completely ruining the point of the product in the first place. What Lifesavers had was a reputation that they built up over years. They had a name, they had a legacy, and that's what made the Lifesavers books, something to buy. Parents, I don't know if this is exactly true because I wasn't a parent back in the day, but at least my parents would buy these books basically every year because they were fun and like cheap, but also satisfying for kids. And now this is not satisfying for kids. I struggle to think of any child who's going to remember this packaging of Lifesavers. I just don't think that's going to happen. This created an experience in my young mind. The 12 different flavors in the cool book that you can open and close. That was a gift experience, whereas this is just candy and shitty packaging that's holiday themed. That's the difference here. And I hate that the Book of Lifesavers is not a thing anymore. This is the worst thing, and the fact that it's all fruit flavors and not individual flavors is arguably worse. I don't know what's worse, missing the book or missing the variety of flavors, but either way, it's really terrible. Let's move on. Cottenelle shrinkflation. This is important. This is the math you want to use when you're looking at toilet paper. I know this is not a topic many people probably care about. I think most people probably either A, you buy the cheapest toilet paper you can get, or you pick a brand and you stick with it. Like this person's buying Cottenelle. They're just buying Cottenelle because that's what they buy, which is fair. But the important thing to note here is the old package, and with toilet paper package specifically, they put square feet and like sheets per ply on the sheets per roll on the packaging. So this is what you want to look at. The Angel Soft, all of them have reduced their shit a lot recently, and I always look at these numbers. Myself, this used to be 169.2 square feet. That's the number I look at. I'm not really bothering too much with the 268 2-ply sheets. I'm just looking at the square footage. How much toilet paper square footage am I getting here? And by law, I think they have to do it, because if they didn't, they wouldn't. So we have 169.2 square feet here, and now the new packaging of the same product, the 6-pack rolls, is 154.2 square feet, because there's now 244 2-ply sheets instead of 268. So that's simple, very easy to spot shrinkflation that most people probably won't spot. That's why I want to point it out. I don't think many people buying Cottenelle who would just buy Cottenelle 6-packs would have noticed the difference, which is how they get away with it. So point that out. Look at your square feet on your toilet paper. That's the number you really want to look at. This one is fucking amazing. Sargento has 1 7/8 cup bags of cheese now. I don't know if this is like across their block. It's probably not. It's probably only for like their cheese mixes or whatever, like their specialty ones. But it's insane. You can't cut. This is just like the Betty Crocker cake mix in that you can't cut cheese because a lot of recipes rely on cheese. Like 8 ounces of cheese is a standard kind of recipe thing. And they're cutting that down, which is just terrible. Like this person says. Now this one really pisses me off. Yeah, recipe isn't going to be thrown off too much, but to hell with them. Yes, I agree. They're just shittifying your food. So when you follow a recipe that requires 2 cups of cheese and you put in this, is it going to be worse? Yes, but only slightly. And that's what they're relying on, is that the slightly worse you don't notice, and you pay more for it. So fuck Sargento. And just fuck pre-shredded cheese in general. I would suggest buying block cheese. Personally, not even for price-wise, just taste-wise. Block cheese just tastes better when you shred it yourself. The pre-shredded stuff is ass. That's my personal opinion. All right, this one's for the people who shop at Bath and Body Works, not me necessarily. I've been there a few times with my sister though, but they've reduced this body scrub from 8 ounces to 7.4 ounces, which is just standard shrinkflation, but also at the same time increased the price from $17.95 to $19.95. And this is, as a fan of following shrinkflation, I actually appreciate that this is so straightforward. They did change the packaging to be cheaper, but I do appreciate that they put the price right on the package to let you know you're getting ripped off ahead of time. That they increased the price by $2 while also lowering the volume by 0.6 ounces. And I feel like most people will buy it and they won't notice the 0.6 ounces. They might notice the price and they'll say $2. Maybe they'll find that acceptable or something because of inflation. But no, this is bullshit. This shit probably cost them like $1 to make, and it's insane. So yes, I know, and I know Bath and Body Works relies heavily on coupons and like BOGO sales and all that bullshit, but fuck them. Take advantage of it if you can, but do not shop there regularly would be my suggestion. Aldi mistletoe mix. I didn't even know this really existed, except I've seen posts of it, but I've never had it in person, and I think I would really like it because I love chocolate-covered pretzels and stuff. But they reduced it from 9 ounces to 8 ounces, and let's see, we got 11 point... This guy did the math. I love this man. 11.11 reduction in product, 8.13% increase in price, $3.69 versus $3.99. So yeah, standard shrinkflation, 11% reduction in the product you get, while simultaneously an 8% increase in price. Essentially meaning it's a 20% basically price increase per ounce. So fuck them. I love Aldi. I like their stuff, but it pisses me off when they do this stuff. And that's why when people say, "Oh, I'm switching to store brands," like when you see the shrinkflation happen and people switch to store brands or generics and stuff like that, the generics do it too. That's the problem with the entire system, is nobody's not doing the shrinkflation. You get to the generics, and then the generics start doing reductions and shrinkflation too. And then where do we go? All right, Downy. This is scent booster. I'm one of these people who agrees that scent booster is really not needed. But if you want to use it, fine. But don't buy Downy Light, apparently, or Downy in general, because they went from 39 ounces to 34 ounces from July to this week. This person didn't mention the price, but I'm going to assume it's either the same or higher. It definitely didn't get lower. That we can say for sure. That's a safe bet. It's either the same or higher. This one made me laugh, and I like that this is what made my husband believe in shrinkflation. Hopefully, yeah, this image right here, they should print this fucking image on the front page of every news website. This should be the #1 headline. Should be literally just this image of a candy cane. That's not even a candy cane. It's literally just a fucking horseshoe. And then this is the best part. If you scroll down, there's another example that's even worse. This one, which is just a fucking candy cane horseshoe. We're at the level where even candy canes are getting shrinkflated. That's insane. We're talking about something that costs like a penny to make. We're talking about a product that is just thrown out there. It's basically free. Everybody throws candy canes out, and now they're shrinking them into tiny little U shapes, and they're not candy canes anymore. They're not canes anymore. They're just a fucking horseshoe, which is insane. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna lose. I think we're just gonna have to lose the word candy cane because they don't exist anymore. We don't have canes. We don't have candy canes. We have candy horseshoes, apparently. This one really bothered me. Very deceptive. I like Talenti gelato. I used to, at least. I haven't bought it in a while. But this is horrible because they have out here 5 layers. You got salted pretzel gelato, sounds great. Chocolatey waffle cone pieces, great. Salted pretzel sauce, amazing. Vanilla gelato, yeah, I mean, that's the base. And chocolate flakes, cool. We got 5 layers, right? And you can kind of see the layers on the outside. This is what it looks like when you spoon it all the way down from the top. This is so funny that the layer right here, the layer on the bottom and this middle layer are basically non-existent. They're only on the edge and not actually in the middle. Like the layer gets super thin in the middle and basically non-existent. And this is just fucking a scam. This should be, sued into oblivion. They should be prosecuted, allegedly. I'm not an expert, but that's just bullshit. That, to me, it feels scammy. I'll say that. And here's another one that definitely feels scammy. Again, allegedly. 8-inch cake. They're marketing this as an 8-inch round ice cream cake, and this person pulled out the measuring thing, and it's 7 inches, and barely 7 inches. Like, I don't even know if you could really count that as 7 inches. It's almost more like 6 3/4 for what should be an 8-inch cake. And when it comes to round items, this is an important thing. There's pizza math, and there's also cake math. When you have pizza math, you realize that a medium pizza and a large pizza is actually significantly larger than a medium pizza, even though you're only going from, 12 to 14 inches or whatever. It gets exponentially larger when you're talking about a round item like a cake or a pizza. So 7 inches to 8 inches is not, you're not missing an inch of cake necessarily. You're missing a lot more than that, because it's supposed to go around the entire circumference. Another inch around the entire cake is a lot more cake, a lot more ice cream. And that's what this person is arguing. How many cubic inches of ice cream am I missing out on because of this? Which is a fair question to ask. I would assume that they call it 8 inches because this cardboard square measures out to 8 inches. That would be my guess. But this is disgusting. So... and I don't really know what you do about this, because ice cream cakes there's not many companies that make ice cream cakes. Carvel is like the classic, but I guess just don't buy those. I mean, maybe you can find a local place that does ice cream cakes, but that's the problem here, is that ice cream cakes are a very small business. There's only a couple brands that are in grocery stores, and Carvel is one of them. And they're straight up, fucking us over. So what are you going to do? I honestly don't know the answer to this except to not buy it. But you really don't have much choice sometimes if you want an ice cream cake. So this is a hard one, but fuck them. Straight up, digital. This digital coupon is funny, but that's kind of the shrinkflation tactic here that I find interesting, is that they're increasing the price while decreasing the size. We went from 2.7 to 2.4 ounces on fucking toothpaste, which is insane. And we've raised the price 25 cents again for toothpaste. But they put a little coupon in it so that you can, if you buy 2, you save $2. So it kind of feels like maybe if you're somebody who buys this specific toothpaste, you see this price increase, but you think, oh, I can buy 2 and save $2. That's actually cheaper for me. And then the next time you need toothpaste in a couple months, it's just going to be $4.50 and you're going to have to pay it. That's how it works. That's the difference there. Great job, Dollar General. This one had an interesting argument in the comments, in that people were arguing whether, like somebody said, let me see, I think it's fair that they point out the new size. In my opinion, hidden decreases without any notice are the worst. Sure, but I think it's important to note that they're not pointing out the new size in a bad way, and that's what people are arguing in the comments. When you see new gross or like new size and you see it says 500 grams down here, you'll notice something is different, but you might not notice that it's actually smaller. You might just think, oh, it's a new box. It's a new size. Even though it says new size, you might just think, it's a new package necessarily. So this is a hard one, because they are technically letting it be known that they're shrinkflating their product by marking it this way. Probably have to by law, I would assume. But I would think by law it should be more obvious than this. That's my argument. I pretty much agree with this guy, as this guy says he thinks it's fair, blah, blah, blah. The packaging acts like it's better with nice green new size, green label saying it's good. The 600 will be gone, and people will see the new size green 500 and think that that's the version, even though 100 grams was just lost. I agree. I think that's exactly the move here. Most people, again, won't notice, but if they do, they'll just be like, oh, it's a new package, whatever. They're not going to actually look into it. So that's why I'm here. I want to point out the shrinkflation, even though they technically did point out pointed out to us, I'd like to highlight it again because fuck them. This is a hard one. Mix and match muffins. Not a hard one for me personally because I don't have a Costco near me. But the fact that this has 1.2K comments and 6K upvotes should tell you it's important to people. People really have opinions about Costco muffins, and them changing their Costco muffins to be what used to be $10 would get you 12 muffins. And you can mix and match 6-packs. So you can get 6 of one kind, 6 of the other for $10. You know, simple concept, but it allows you to get a variety of muffins for $10. Now, you have to buy 8-packs instead of 6-packs for $6.99 each. Somebody did the math here. Old muffins were $4.9995, 35-ounce package. Most importantly, the old muffins were 0.1 or 14 cents an ounce, essentially. Oops, did not mean to do that. They were 14 cents an ounce before, and now they're 22 cents an ounce, closer to 23 cents an ounce, for a total of 58% more expensive. And on top of that, it's a new recipe. Well, as this person says, one of my best friends is a baker at Costco and says she's going to have a lot of angry customers. They did also change the recipe, and it seems like most people don't like it. There are a few people in the comments who say that they do like it, but the gist of the comments, and this is an interesting read because there's some Costco employees in here who kind of explain how they make the muffins and how they're changing from oil to butter, which is good, I guess, but not really worth the price increase. I don't know. But they're changing to butter and like a different formula, different whatever recipe for their muffins. And even though they're changing to butter from oil, I doubt it's actually a more expensive baking mix. I would assume that they're changing it to make it cheaper, not more expensive. But who knows? A lot of interesting information about behind the scenes Costco in here. But the most important part is that your muffins are 58% more expensive, and they're not the same. They're not the muffins that you used to like. They're different. You might like these ones the same. You might like them better, but most likely you're not going to like them as much. And that's a shame because it's Costco. You pay to shop there. You're a member. They shouldn't be pulling this shit. Poptarts, I want to touch on real quick. I have a box of Poptarts in my house right now. My dad bought them. I don't generally buy Poptarts because, yes, they have enshittified. Not necessarily shrinkflation. I don't know, like, because I haven't looked at the sizes. Maybe they have shrunk, but they've enshittified in terms of the frosting for sure. Since I was a kid. And they've always been a little inconsistent with the frosting. I don't want to, proclaim out here that they look like they did on the box all the time. They didn't. They were inconsistent, but they were never this bad, really. Like, they were inconsistent, but you would get one that looked like this out of a pack, but the other ones would look closer to the box. Like, now they're consistently, like, under frosted, I guess is the way to put it. And it sucks. Like, and I honestly would want to say, if you're a Pop-Tart fan, try Toast and Pop-Ups. They are 100% better. They're not even the off-brand. They're like the Oreo Hydrox situation, if anybody knows that. In that Toast and Pop-Ups came out before Pop-Tarts. They're actually like the original, but they're the cheaper brand now and only sold in like cheaper stores, but they taste better than Pop-Tarts. So Toast and Pop-Ups, that's my recommendation. Just stop buying Pop-Tarts. This one's funny. I guess Loblaws is in the UK, I believe. So we're going a little international with this one. I've never seen ground beef sold like this in my life as an American. I've seen little chub packs, but I've never seen 3 in one bag. It seems like kind of weird packaging. Like, I don't know why you would have 3 beef rolls in a plastic bag. It seems like extra plastic packaging, which is odd. But to shrink the size of a roll from 300, you used to get 3 times 367 grams to 3 times 300 grams is crazy. And I don't even know how much is 300 grams in pounds. Is that like 0.66? So you're only getting 2/3 of a pound in each roll versus before you would get 0.8 pounds. Okay, so you used to get, now you're only getting 2/3 of a pound versus you used to get 4/5 of a pound in each roll, which is still odd. But I guess the pound measurement is a US thing, so whatever. But it's even weirder to me that they went to 3 times 300, because that's also not like a normal number. Like, shouldn't they try to add it up to a kilogram? Isn't that like what they generally do? Shouldn't it be like 3 times 332 or something? I don't know. But either way, it's just straight up shrinkflation. The price is on the bag, $10, and it's smaller. There's nothing to go about it. You just get 201 grams less, which is like a half a pound, I think, of beef for your purchase. So there you go. This one, man, this video is going to be a little long, but this one is potentially the most interesting to talk about, because it's not necessarily shrinkflation. It's actually a different issue, which I don't want to get too far into, probably, to derail this video. But essentially, this person bought this toy, this new toy, from Target. It's a BarkBox toy, and they thought they were going to get the same toy that they had before, which is this one they also got from BarkBox. The important thing to note is that they bought this one on the left at Target, and this one is from BarkBox itself. But they're both labeled as XL on their respective sites. So this person ordered this thing. There's no actual measurements on the Target website. It just says XL. And same with BarkBox. BarkBox does have the size, actually. That's interesting. Wait, okay, now I see. This story was confusing me before. Okay, this is the important part, is that BarkBox sells an XL stuffy, sells this XL stuffy on their website for the same price that Target sells an XL stuffy, the same XL stuffy, but it's smaller. And they're both called XL. And the only reason you would know the difference is if you look in here at the dimensions. That's the key difference. So this person bought this thinking they were replacing their old BarkBox toy with the same one, because they were both named XL, but she got one that's significantly smaller. Now, what's happening here is not necessarily shrinkflation, as I wrap my mind around this. It's something else. I don't know exactly the term you call it, but it's essentially the brand, BarkBox, is selling items that are of worse quality and like smaller and cheaper to produce to retail brands, so that they can sell on their behalf. Like, if you're buying something that's BarkBox branded at Target, it's not necessarily the same as the BarkBox item you'd buy from BarkBox. That's what's happening here. Naturally, any normal person would assume that if I'm buying Pickle Stuffy XL on BarkBox that's made by BarkBox, and then I'm buying Pickle Stuffy XL that's made by BarkBox on Target, that they're going to be the same thing. Because they're the same name. They're both labeled as XL, made by the same company, but they're shipping a shittier version to Target to sell to people on the shelves. So that's essentially what's happening here. It's something a lot of companies do. Like, if you notice, before Hot Pockets removed their sleeve, they didn't have sleeves at all if you bought them at the Dollar Tree, because they were cheaper. That's the important part. The thing to note is that when you see a product, sometimes products are very different, quality, size, and everything, based on the store they're being sold in. This is something that is not really explained very well, and not really well known, I don't think. And we're going to have another example of it real quick right here with goldfish. This person said, I've never seen the size before, but if they got rid of the big box, I'll cry. It's 14 ounces. Because I'm a fucking weirdo, I noticed, I got Dollar General vibes. I saw this picture and I thought he's at a Dollar General, because my brain is broken. And I'm right. He was at Dollar General, I think, or Family Dollar, or a store like that, because that is where they sell 14-ounce goldfish crackers that he's never seen before. The important thing to note is that goldfish crackers are sold in different sizes at different stores. Because you see goldfish crackers here, family size, 14 ounces, like this guy said. But if you go to Walmart, goldfish family size is actually 10 ounces, which is insane. I don't know how you can call it family size with 10 ounces. But you can see that they're both labeled goldfish cheddar family size, but they're different prices and different sizes. And it's a very confusing thing, and it's done on purpose to, make it harder to keep track of the shrinkflation. That's kind of the point. If you have different products with different price points and SKUs at every retailer, then it's hard for somebody to keep track of how much you're really cutting. But this post I also found in my research from a year ago. The big boxes went from 30 to 27.3 ounces about a year ago. So yeah, you can't trust Goldfish. You can't trust Pepperidge Farm. Or most brands, really. They do this a lot. Like if you buy something that's a name brand at Walmart or like Sam's Club or something, it's not as good as the real brand. But people don't necessarily know that. They just go with it. It's like at Sam's Club, they sell like sweaters that are, like name brand. They're like designer brand name sweaters, but they're like $30. That's not the same sweater that you're going to get, in the designer store. And I think people recognize that on a base level, but it's not the same with food, I don't think. I think people understand that on a clothing level, that if you're buying, a name brand from Sam's Club, it might not be the same quality as the name brand from like a boutique or whatever. But I don't think people realize that it happens with food too. And I didn't really realize that it happens so much with food as well, where they try to obfuscate. I'm trying to pronounce this word, obfuscate. The kind of, and they make it kind of nebulous what the price to ounce ratio is by selling different products at different stores and different sizes and different prices, blah, blah, blah. But the important part is you're getting fucked in the end by Pepperidge Farm and Goldfish. All right, and we're almost done. This is going to be another long one. Irish Spring Soap. It's just a straight up shrinkflation, 0.8 ounces smaller, same size box. Yes, these are different flavors, but this guy posted right here to let you know. No, this is standard across Irish Spring. They're just smaller. That's it. They've shrunk. I don't know if the price has gone up or not, but it's just smaller. And I used to use Irish Spring as a kid, but I can't really use it anymore because it kind of like bothers my skin, and that's bad. So yeah, just don't buy Irish Spring anymore. Let's finish strong. We've got two more. Raising Cane's. This one's like skimflation, not necessarily shrinkflation. But look at these chicken tenders. It's laughable to me how small these tenders are. This is a 4-tender meal this guy bought. Probably costs like $12, $13. That's what Raising Cane's costs for this box. He probably paid $12 to $13 for these 4 tiny chicken strips, which is just sad. And this is him posting a picture from a couple of years ago, he said, where the chicken strips are clearly fatter and juicier and nicer by a mile. And it's just horrible. And I've noticed the same thing. Like, I don't go to Raising Cane's a lot. I used to like it more, but the last time I went, the strips were so like tiny for the price that I just couldn't go back anymore. It's like I do the math in my head that I'm paying like $2 per chicken strip, and this is what I'm getting, like fucking bite of chicken. So yeah, Raising Cane sucks. Finish it off with Reese's. We're gonna shit talk them again. Reese's. I love you. Everybody loves you. Everybody loves Reese's Cups in their various forms. But this is just not the way to go. And they've been doing this for a long time, so it's not like I'm saying anything different. These candy canes have been short-filled for many years. I used to buy them myself. Again, my parents used to buy these just like the Lifesavers. And while I think they used to have like 10 or 12 and be a little bit longer, they have for the last at least like 7 or 8 years shorted them, but I don't know if they've been 6 per thing. I don't know how long they've been 6 per candy cane or whatever. But yeah, they shortchanged these. That's known, but don't pay $2.49 for 6 Reese's Minis in a fucking shitty plastic candy cane, even as a gift. Just buy the regular Reese's in a bag. You'll save the money and not waste the plastic, because this is just a trash. It's out there to be a present for Christmas, but they've shitified it so much. Like when this first came out, it was a cool idea, just like the book, just like the Lifesavers book. It's a nice candy cane, and I would have these, and I would store my candy, and I remember them being longer. But if I got this as a present right now, I would just eat all 6 of them, and then it would be gone in one day, I think. Whereas when I was a kid, I would eat 1 or 2 and keep it for a while. It was cool. And it was a cool storage thing, and I used to, hit people with it. So, yeah, this sucks. Merry Christmas, I guess. And that's the end of Shrinkflation this week. Again, it's December 13th. This was for the week of December 13th, and I'm sure we'll see a lot more coming up But you know, Merry Christmas, and I'll see you next week for our Shrinkflation Christmas Eve special, because the one after that will be after Christmas. So Merry Christmas, whatever. I'll see you all next time.